The sack of Rome in 1527 stands as a pivotal moment in European history, a cataclysmic event that reverberated across the continent, leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness. It was a tumultuous time, characterized by political upheaval, religious tensions, and the clash of powerful forces vying for dominance. This devastating episode unfolded against the backdrop of the Italian Wars, a series of conflicts that embroiled various European powers in a struggle for control and influence over the Italian peninsula. The early 16th century witnessed a complex geopolitical landscape where shifting alliances and power struggles were the norm. Rome, the seat of the Catholic Church and the epicenter of Western Christianity, found itself in the crosshairs of conflicting interests. The city, adorned with magnificent art and architectural marvels, was a symbol of cultural richness and spiritual authority. However, its vulnerability became apparent as political ambitions and rivalries escalated. At the heart of the conflict was the clash between the Holy Roman Emperor, Charles V, and the French monarchy. Their rivalry manifested in the Italian Wars, which saw alliances form and dissolve as territories changed hands and allegiances shifted. Rome, as a centre of spiritual and temporal power, became a coveted prize in this tumultuous struggle. In 1526, the Battle of Pavia dealt a severe blow to the French forces, leading to the capture of King Francis I of France by Charles V's imperial troops. This pivotal moment tilted the balance of power in favour of the Holy Roman Emperor, setting the stage for the events that would culminate in the sack of Rome. The year 1527 dawned with ominous portents for the Eternal City. Landsknecht mercenaries, unpaid and embittered by the lack of compensation for their service, mutinied against their employer, Charles V. These mercenaries, a formidable and unruly force, marched towards Rome, their sights set on pillage and plunder. As the mercenary army, led by figures like Charles III, Duke of Bourbon, approached Rome, a sense of foreboding gripped the city. Despite efforts to fortify defences, including the partial repair of ancient walls, Rome was ill-prepared for the onslaught that awaited. Pope Clement VII, ensconced within the Vatican, faced a dire predicament as he grappled with the imminent threat of invasion. On May 6, 1527, the Landsknechts breached Rome's walls, unleashing a frenzied assault on the city. What followed was a scene of unimaginable horror and chaos. The invaders, driven by avarice and unchecked brutality, rampaged through the streets, laying waste to centuries of cultural and religious heritage. Churches, palaces, and homes were ransacked, priceless artworks looted, and the populace subjected to unspeakable atrocities. The sack lasted for months, and the city bore witness to untold suffering and devastation. The sack of Rome left an indelible scar on the city's psyche, marking the decline of its influence as a dominant political and cultural force in Europe. The plunder and desecration of sacred spaces dealt a severe blow to the prestige of the Catholic Church and shattered the perception of Rome as an impregnable bastion of civilization. However, amidst the ruin and despair, the sack of Rome ignited a renewed sense of cultural awareness and historical consciousness. It prompted introspection and debate on the state of Italian politics, the role of foreign powers, and the vulnerabilities of a divided peninsula. The event served as a stark reminder of the fragility of power and the destructive consequences of unchecked ambition. In the aftermath of the sack, Rome slowly began to recover. Efforts to rebuild and restore the city's splendour commenced, albeit amid the lingering trauma of the harrowing experience. The sack of 1527 stands as a sombre chapter in the annals of history, a cautionary tale of the perils of conflict and the profound impact of human greed and aggression on the cultural heritage of a civilization.